Hello everyone and welcome to the 1980 Affordable JDM Car Challenge in Automation game. Yes, my friends, we are back with a brand new challenge after a long vote on Twitch on our last broadcast, which was absolutely crazy, and everyone voted for this awesome challenge, and I'm super glad to announce the beginning of this awesome challenge. So let's stay tuned with us and let's see what kind of rules we have in this challenge. Alright, so the first tool, as always, is of course the production year. The production year will be of course 1980, exactly 1980, no more, no less than that. Next, of course, you have the body type. You can go with absolutely any body option you want, of course, but it needs to be a road car body. Don't give me a car with a Le Mans or a racing car body and say this is a JDM car. No, that's not correct. The car will get disqualified. So make sure you can use absolutely any body you want, hatchbacks, saloons, coupes, anything you want, as long as it's not really a racing car body. It needs to be street or road legal car body. Next, of course, you have the quality sliders. Obviously they are allowed with, of course, the default Techpool. Don't touch Techpool, leave it as it is default. But of course, the sliders, the quality sliders, you can go plus or minus, depends on your choice, whatever option you want. Next, of course, you have the panels and the chassis materials. You can go with any option you want. Next, of course, you have the engine placement. The engine placement will be, of course, as I mentioned, anything you want. Front engine, transverse or longitudinal, mid-engine, rear engine, your choice. Next, of course, you have the suspension options. You can go with any suspension type you want, as long as your budget allows that. Next, which is a very important bit, since we are building JDM cars, that means of course the engine type will be maximum six cylinder engines. Don't give me anything above 6 cylinders. You can go inline, V8, flat, your choice, but maximum 6 cylinders. So no V8s, no V10s, no V12s, and obviously no V16s. Next, of course, you have the fuel system. You can go with any fuel system you want. And of course the intake, you can go with any option you want, but no race intake, no race parts. Race parts are not allowed on the intake and on the exhaust. Next, of course, the allowed fuel type. You can go with only unleaded maximum, which your maximum octane will be 95. You can go if you want to go less than 95, that's your choice, but the maximum allowed octane is unleaded 95, only unleaded fuel. Next, of course, you have the exhaust header. You can use any option you want, but as I mentioned before, no race parts. Next, of course, you have the exhaust system itself. Mufflers and catalytic converters are required, so make sure your car has both of these things. Next, of course, you have the drivetrain, which is a very important bit. After a long discussion on the previous broadcast, everyone voted that we should have no all-wheel drive. You can go with any option you want. That means no 4x4 and no all-wheel drive. Yeah, you can go front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive. That's your option. That's your choice. Next, of course, you have the differential. You can go with any differential option you want. The tires, you can go with any road tire option you want. Seriously, any allowed option, that as long as your budget allows that, you can go with any road tire option you want, but no race tires, obviously. Next, you have the brakes. You can use any brakes option, and please make sure brakes actually work well in BeamNG. They don't fade or overheat quickly. Make sure you have good brakes. Next, you have the aerodynamics. You can go with any option you want, and make sure your car doesn't really overheat in BeamNG. Like, adjust your engine cooling factor to suit whatever option you want, you know, so it doesn't really overheat in BeamNG. Make sure that everything works well. Next, you have the seats or the interior. You can go with any interior option you want, as long as you have 2 seats at least. So minimum 2 seats. Anything above that, that's your choice, but minimum 2 seats. Depends on whatever car you are making, hatchbacks, 4-seater, SUV, whatever. Next, you have the entertainment. Entertainment obviously is required, so you need to go with any option you want. Anything, as long as it's realistic, like a cassette or CD. Don't give me something like phonograph, which is like from the 1930s. That's unreal, and unfortunately I will disqualify your car. Make sure you have a realistic entertainment system from the 80s. Next, of course, you have the safety. Safety, you can use any option you want, as long as your car has at least 25 safety points. Any car with less than 25, it will get disqualified. Next, of course, you have the suspension type. You can tune your suspension as you want. That's your choice, depends on your car design. If it's like a coupe, like if it's like a four-door saloon or an SUV, whatever. But make sure your car has some comfortable points, because this thing is a road legal car. It will be like you'll drive this thing to work, to supermarket. Make sure your car has at least 15 comfortable points. Make sure your car has at least 15 comfortable points. Don't give me a car with like 5 points or 10 points, because that's unreal. Make sure your car has at least 15 comfortable points with good sportiness points. Yeah, make sure, because it's actually a road legal car, not really a racing car. Next, of course, you have let's see what we have next. Next, we have, of course, the approximate cost, or the budget in this challenge. Make sure that you have your approximate cost or your budget for this challenge is $12,000. No more than that. $1 more and the whole thing will get disqualified. And make sure, please, that this is the approximate cost, not the material cost. A lot of people, I've seen this in the past and previous challenges, some people mixed up between the approximate cost and the material cost. No, material cost, that's your choice, whatever the price it is. But the approximate cost, which is your budget, maximum $12,000. Next, of course, you have the looks. Well, obviously, this is a 1980s car. Make sure the car has 1980s looks, lights, tail lights, rims, whatever. It's a 1980s car, so make sure the car looks like a 1980s car, not really a modern car, and not really something classic like 60s or 50s. Make sure you stick to this period. And of course, with good exterior, good interior. Yes, interiors are required, so make sure you have good interior as well. And this is a very important bit. We are building JDM cars, Japanese domestic market cars, which means only right hand drive, no left hand drive, and no other crazy options like middle hand drive. No, just right hand drive, please, because it's JDM challenge. Next, of course, you have a very important, or two last important bits. Number one, please make sure your car has no red flashing warning lights on the engine and on the car itself. No red flashing warning lights. Orange, yellow, whatever, I don't care, but red, no red flashing warning. Any car with red flashing warning lights, it will get disqualified. And the final important bit, which is of course engine stress. Make sure your engine has absolutely zero engine stress, 0%. 0% on power stress, 0% on piston stress, connecting rods, and of course block and crankshaft. All of these things needs to be on 0%, absolutely zero, green and happy. Absolutely no engine stress. I'm not talking about airflow. Airflow stress, that's your choice. You can go red if you want on the airflow, for the headers and the intake and all of that. That's not my problem. I'm focusing only on power stress, RPM stress for, of course, pistons, connecting rods, crankshaft, and block. Make sure these are on 0, green, and happy. And that brings us, of course, to the final bit of this challenge, which is, of course, the deadline. The deadline, it will be, my friends, the 17th of September, 2 weeks from now. That will be the deadline. Make sure to submit your .car file on my Discord, the link in the description below, before the deadline for a chance to win this awesome prize car that you are seeing in front of you. And as always, we'll be having 2 winners in every single challenge that we're making. We'll be having 2 winners. The first winner, which is obviously the fastest handling car. We'll be focusing on the testing on handling, not on top speed, not on how much horsepower you have. No, we'll be focusing only on how grippy your car is, how good this thing handles. Because yes, we'll be using a very, very technical circuit to test these cars. Not really, I think they will be having really, really minimum straight line speeds. Seriously, we'll be focusing only on hard cornering. So make sure your car actually is grippy, the chassis is stiff and good, and the tires can grip, and your suspension is perfectly tuned. Make sure this is really, really important, because I've seen on previous challenges some people focusing on pushing a lot of power, and they are understeery, or they are oversteery, or they are absolutely like death traps. So make sure your car is absolutely perfectly tuned for handling. You can have good power as well, but make sure your car actually can use this power, not really smash into walls. Please make sure your car can do that. And that's pretty much it, my friend. That's really pretty much it. Very, very simple challenge, and I really had so much fun creating this price car for the winners, really. And as I mentioned before, we'll be having 2 winners: the fastest car and the prettiest car. The prettiest car. We'll be having a vote at the end of the testing broadcast on the prettiest car, and whoever wins that vote on the prettiest looking car with the craziest details will win the prize car as well. Not only the fastest car, also the prettiest car. Will be giving this prize car to 2 winners. So make sure you choose your path. You can go with the crazy handling grippy path. Of course, you still need to have interior, but you don't have to focus too much on details. Or you can go the other way around, which is you can build any option you want, hatchback, SUV, whatever, with of course the previous rules and the craziest amount of details. I'll still test it, of course, and drive it, but we'll be putting a vote at the end to see if your car will win that vote or not. So yeah, make sure your car goes the correct path. And that's pretty much it. Really good luck for all. I'm really excited, and I cannot wait to see what you guys will be creating with these crazy rules. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Obviously during these two weeks I'll be making a ton of broadcasts on Twitch in Forza or automation or whatever, so make sure you tune in. The link in the description below. So that's pretty much it, my friends. Thank you so much everyone for watching. Please don't forget to hit that like button, get subscribed, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks with of course these crazy these crazy cars that you'll be making. And of course, if you like my work and if you want to support my work and support this channel, the link in the description below for my Patreon page. You can subscribe over there. You can download this price car plus previous price cars that we made in the past, plus replicas and crazy things that we made in the past. All of these things are on my Patreon page. The link in the description below, and of course I'll be super thankful for that. And I'll be putting your name on a plaque on my next car that I'll be making. All the people who will be subscribing to my Patreon page, I'll be writing your names on a special plaque inside the car that I'll be putting on Patreon. So thank you so much everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys very soon, and goodbye for now, my friends.